Dida, the presidential candidate under the Alliance for Real Change party, and he's offering himself for the same top office again this year. Thank you for joining us this evening, sir. And first of all, just to get it out of the way, the IEBC, as you've said, is not treating the independent presidential candidates fairly. How else would you have them treat you? Do you see their new requirements and rules, at least as you've said is in law, is a way to block out some of the candidates?
Well, it is the rules are not new. They were there and they are still there, but they could be tough on the independent candidates. We need to see them. Kenya has a problem, and even a young child knows that there is a problem, and we are seeking for solutions to our problems. Maybe the solutions we are seeking for could come through one of them.
Right.
We should not frustrate them. Now, if you ask an aspirant to get 2,000 signatures and supporters, well, it's okay, because he's a person who is who wants to lead 40 million people. 2,000 is not a big deal. But when you tell the person, get 2,000 signatures, you are an independent candidate, make sure that the 2,000 who will sign for you, who will support you, are not in any party. Now, what gadget does he have or does she have to actually measure that this person is not in a political party?
Right.
How can you meet a person, you tell your ideas to the person says, I support you, I know you, let me sign for you. Most of the Kenyans even don't know which party they belong to. Most of the Kenyans don't know. Yeah? Mm. So if you give the person the facilities that can help determine that this is a person in Jubilee, this is a person in whatever party, he can tell him, as much as you support me, these are the rules.
Right.
You cannot help me. Let me get a person who is not yet in a party.
But
these facilities are not there.
Yeah, but you're still confident you'll be able to meet the requirements moving forward?
No. With the requirements, we have no problem. And I also believe they don't have a problem. But it is actually giving them, actually, you don't give them the facilities and you expect much from them.
Okay. You've mentioned that Kenyans have a problem, even the children know that we have a problem, and one of the things that have been characterized, at least a characteristic of Kenya's politics, is voting using tribal blocks. Do you think Kenyans are ready to embrace real change, perhaps the alliance of real change, to vote in a different manner?
Two things. God, who owns everything, has given us the mandate to manage the system on his behalf. If we cannot respect that, God is quiet and God is patient. Chinua Achebe has written many novels and many books. One is called No Longer Tease, Things Fall Apart, and all this. In one of the books he has written, he has actually a statement which is a collection of all the titles, and he says, when the arrow of God falls, things fall apart and minds are no longer at ease. A time will come, if we cannot see things are going from bad to worse, we consider, oh, I will give you a position, director, I will give you a tribe, a minister, I have given you 36 tons of debts.
As you've just seen?
You've just seen, you see, and you keep on cheating, God will now say, fine, let me take the mantle.
Do you think,
and God will put a full stop.
All right. Do you think, as we wait for that full stop from God, do you think that the time has come that people will actually vote? It won't be a NASA Jubilee vote. It won't be a two-horse race.
Those propagating that idea as sycophants are people who want to take care of their interest. They want to shift goalposts from A to B, following their interest. They don't care.
Okay.
If today, by God's decree, it moves from the NASA and the Jubilee and it comes towards me or any other candidate, they will come. They have no principles in life.
That is Kenyans.
Oh my God. These are not, we have 4 categories of Kenyans. we have leaders who have mastered the art of exploiting people. Yeah? They are engaged in getting money from whichever source to buy people. When they come to office, how they can regain back their money and loot more, because as day goes by, Kenyans are even becoming expensive. And 3, castrating and frustrating potential people who can actually reveal the truth. This is what they do. These are leaders. 2, we have businessmen who want to work with these leaders because they know they gave them 5 million and still 5 billion.
To secure business moving forward.
Yes, business, like very taxes, and your container comes in the port and you call.
The third category?
The third category are actually brokers. They broker between the leaders and the corrupt businessmen, and now the ordinary Mama Wanjiko, the ordinary Kenyan. These are brokers. Wanakuja huko, sasa sisi kama sisi tumeamua tutakustenga wewe. Barabara imejengwa. Barabara, what barabara? Watu watakula barabara. Do people eat barabara? Look at the sense. You put street lights and the following morning the bulbs are not there. You put good toilets and they still even the locks inside. This person will not eat barabara. As much as barabara is important, they are priorities.
Right.
So these 4 categories of people.
You said the brokers were the third. The fourth?
1, the corrupt leaders. 2, the businessmen, corrupt. 3, the ordinary Kenyans. And 4, the brokers.
Right.
A 60-year-old mzee is going to the businessman. The businessman will say, okay, take this transport, go and tell the community, we are going this way. You see? The president was now mentioning, oh, we need to talk to our youth and direct them and do this. If you don't want to give the youth the basic necessities, somebody has finished class 8 and doesn't have an ID card. And then in the streets you stop, every corner a policeman is stopping the youth who got an ID card. They have forced into rebellion. They have gone rebellious.
Okay.
And this is happening because of the useless, exploitive leader and the corrupt businessman and the redundant sycophant broker.
With the 4 categories that you've drawn of Kenyans, are you confident that you can actually stand a good chance?
The votes that decide who will lead this country is by the ordinary Kenyan. Who feels the punks? They almost left Kenya last week because unga was not available.
Yes. Yes.
They almost went mad.
Right. And on that particular point of the hunger pangs, you've said that you are quoted as saying that you should eat when you feel the pangs of hunger. With the current crisis of unga, do you still feel that quote is applicable to Kenyans right now in terms of some solution that they can look forward to?
I've always wondered with the irony of God mentioning in many books that he revealed, the human being who is the most valued has eyes but will never see, has ears but will never hear, is different from the animals and has the IQ reasoning but will never reason. They will choose to live the life standards of animals. Now, how unga was not there, your life is gone, security is not there, and then you keep on, it is 2-horse race and we are doing this. It cannot work like that.
Right.
Now, our responsibility is to teach. And that's what we are doing. We are telling Kenyans, this is not the way. What we need, simple principles, free.
All right.
I don't think we need a budget of 2.6 trillion. I don't think we need to go and borrow money from China and Japan and where, even without consulting. Kenya does not belong to the president, where you sneak and go and get money in the name of Kenya, and then you leave. Ile deni iliwachwa na Kibaki, mtoto yetu, 5-year-old kid will pay until he's 50 years old.
All right, let me
now
hold
what
you
I'm
on.
saying is,
Yes.
principle, health. I've given Kenya 3 things, health. If you want to live healthy, just take the preventive medicine principles. Eat only when you're hungry.
Right.
Wewe na daktari hamwezi kuonana. Hiyo pesa unakimbia 5 o'clock. I see people running and the gym and what. You don't even need a gym. The natural system will work.
Right.
Kenyans should go and read cell biology.
All right.
The human body is made of trillions of cells, and cells are efficient. if you don't eat for between 12 and 16 hours.
We're going to the lesson of biology now, and you're a high school teacher. You could go on and on.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. I'll give you a few minutes after the break just to give us a bit more of the simple principles when we get back. What about the simple principles that we should apply as a country and that you would offer as a leader? In your rating, how's Jubilee performed? And is NASA sincere in its offering that because Jubilee has failed, they are the ones to choose?
Jubilee has failed, and that is clear. They themselves know that. The Jubilee government know that they have failed, and they are in fact panicked. Opposition, I don't believe in the word. I don't believe in the word opposition. We are one team. We are one country, one nation, one community. I am the president. You are the vice president. If I go wrong, you should be in the opposition. If I'm right, you should support me.
Are they sincere in their offering to give a better leadership as opposed to what Jubilee has given?
These were the same guys who were in government for so many years. As a minister, as a prime minister, as a what? You know, leadership is not what you buy or what people will impose on you or what you will change your uniform and, you know, say, this time I'm a different person. You know, I went to that country and I have donated 2 pints of... No. Leadership is what God gives you.
So if not...
What you never had last night, you cannot come this time. I don't know how it... They will not... They will be worse.
So why Abduba Dida, if not Jubilee or NASA or any other candidate?
I'm saying let those who have a potential be given a platform, and Kenyans consult their God, that, oh God, I depended on my tribe, it failed me. I depended on money, it failed me. I depended on my reasoning, it failed me. This time, get us to get the person who can change our lives.
All right.
Simple.
It's up to the Kenyans to decide.
Yeah, it's up to the Kenyans to decide, but this time they should not make the decision themselves. Let them kneel down and plead with their God.
All right.
That we have a problem.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Last time before the elections, things will change. There is a president who has been elected who doesn't have any problem with money. His father was rich and all this. Where? The worst blunder, the worst curtails in the history of Kenya happened under this government, this regime.
Mr. Abduba Dida, thank you very much for your time. That's all we had time for, unfortunately.